Okay, well, my day 100 and I have no idea anyways. Who cares? I want to say around 130-ish. Okay, fine, I'll put it here. If it's not 130. Only if it is not. Anyways, I don't know why there's these sunbeams. It's like ethereal. You know? Wait loud. Like every time it hurts done. But it's still way too loud. Apparently I don't have a voice either. I know exactly why I don't have a voice. It is because I just straight eat some ice cream and my voice is like, bye. Vaccine in a few days. Well, first dose, obviously. Yeah, with I am only a few episodes away from finishing the series Black Books, which obviously it only has like 18 episodes, so like I watched 15 out of the 18 episodes. But I'm intrigued if or how they're gonna end it, because it is very episodic. It is very much an episodic comedy, so there is no story to be like it's wrapped up now. But it made me start thinking about other media, and I'm like, why is it so bad? It's because media, like TV shows, like to not have an ending. So either they don't have it planned like one season, or even a few seasons, they don't have an end point. They don't have a story with an ending. They just have a story idea. And the idea that they then also, if they do like, okay, last season, they don't have a way to finish it because they don't have a story, or they keep making new ideas and they keep doing this, like, here's this, now you're here, and you're here, and here, and here. Because if you go go like downwards, it's could, I guess, be more like it's not gonna be bigger and better, so we don't want to do it. But it's just like, so the idea, like, I think one that is very obvious is like Supernatural, where the first 5 seasons were thought out. Those were not building up and up and up, like trying to one up themselves. These are very much, that is the story they had. They were gonna leave Sam and Hal, Dean on Earth, and the story there. Well, then everything after that, they kept one-upping. So they already had angels and demons and Lucifer, but they introduced, and they had prophets, but then they did make Chuck God, which obviously comes in later. But then they had the Men of Letters, they had the Darkness and Amara. Yeah, those are the same thing. They had Leviathans. They had, oh God, they had Metatron. They had, I'm trying to think of overarching villains, but they just keep one upping themselves. So at the end, they didn't have an ending to have it tied up perfectly. So I don't know, the ending was its own thing. But, you know, you see that you just keep one-upping, so it's like, that's what I thought what they were going to do with, like, Jack, where they're like, it's going to be the same as Amara. Literally the same thing as Amara. Literally, if you look at the first couple episodes of Amara and Jack, they so the same. But thank goodness they didn't do that. They actually changed Jack to being a really good character. What else? Lucifer came back a few times as a villain. And they did all that. They kept one-upping themselves because they didn't have an ending. So the ending wasn't satisfied. They didn't have an end for these characters. These characters were just living their life, which kind of worked. But then the finale just... But, you know, shows that just keep trying to one-up themselves are just not good. And then the other thing is if they just stop, that's one thing that happened with, like, Sabrina, the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. It wasn't a good or satisfying ending. I mean, honestly, the ending was better and worse than the rest of the show, and because it actually had weight to it, so it actually made it feel story-wise a lot better. But then the actual physical story of it wasn't great, and it definitely wasn't satisfying ending because it wasn't fleshed out enough. I think it should have been done differently. Anyways, but they didn't have an ending. They actually thought they would continue. This is going to happen with a lot of things. They're just like, okay, stop. Because they don't have a set amount of time. They don't know how many seasons they get. That is why How I Met Your Mother ended so badly. People are like saying it's one of the worst endings ever. Because even if they wanted that particular ending, which they did, they had those words. They had the kids film that years ago, and I think they had a few, but they had that years and years before the ending came out. So like they wanted it. They wanted that ending to some point, but it wasn't done well because they just kept not introducing the mom, and then she got introduced one season, I think, like that last season. Of course it doesn't seem satisfying. Of course it doesn't seem good because they didn't, or maybe it was the second to last season. I don't know. I don't watch it. Very transphobic in a lot of episodes, so I'm good. But with this idea that it's just like, okay, sorry, you're out of episodes. Finish it right now. And it's like, it's not good, you know. And I think that's why I like things that do have a story, even if it doesn't end. Like I know with Avatar: The Last Airbender, they could have easily kept going because they had more story to tell, but because they had a set story to say, like, this is our story, it was done well because they had a story in mind to continue. But then with like Over the Garden Wall, they had a story to tell and they didn't go past it. If they had got another season and they kept trying to do it, it wouldn't have been good. So I think, I'm trying to think of a different show that just kept, it was like pulling teeth. It was like, okay, we get it, you got your story. Sherlock, that was one of them. The last season with his sister, that plot was so bad that I forget it exists. That was a season, right? Or was that a movie? Either way, it's not good. It is not good. And Like, they just kept trying to play up, and it wasn't good. That being said, all of these creations take years and years of work to do. I am not belittling anyone's work, even if the show is bad. I'm gonna name two that I know is, or one that I know is bad because I watched it. I watched the first season of Riverdale. It was bad. It wasn't good. Chilling Master Sabrina also it was bad. And it was just like, even though it was bad, doesn't mean they didn't put a lot of effort in it. So I didn't want to belittle or, I know that they put a lot of effort in it, and to make a good thing, it takes a lot of time, energy, and money to make these things. I am not saying, like, that is the disclaimer I want to mark right there. But yeah, I was watching the Game Grumps, which, ooh, that drama. All to be figured out that it was all a lie. I'm not even part of it, but my siblings were going off. And they're like, it doesn't make sense, but we're gonna keep watching it. But if new things come out, but this doesn't make any sense. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Apparently, it was a huge thing about, Dan Avedon. I said Dan Avedon because of that. I think it's funny, and Aaron says it that way. So that's when I first heard it for a good while. It was always Avedon, but apparently it's Avedon. Anyways, point is, it's not even true. It came out that the person that actually originally posted it, like, all these accusations against Dan, were just lying. So, anyways, we were watching some Murray Maker because we haven't watched that in a while. And apparently Dan got into Vines, and that is so funny to me because he is like living for them, but they are good. Four years? 4 years old now? I don't know. I don't have any brains left. Anyways, but yeah, so what happened was he's getting really into it. But at one point, Aaron was talking about wearing a fancy shirt but no shirt underneath, and the shirt rubbed against his nipples. I don't know. But he mentioned having really tiny nipples. But it was really funny because I got the hiccups. It's really funny because all I could think of is how Ethan has really small nipples. And I was like, don't say that, don't say it, don't say it, don't say it, don't say it, don't say it. But it was in there. You and I know it was right here. I love that since we have, my whole household has appointments for vaccines. My mom very, very soon, and then the rest of us very, very soon, or the first dose is like in a few days. So we're like, okay, if we have to wait 3 weeks, and we have to wait 2 more weeks, 5 weeks, and a few days, so 5 weeks and a few days, what are we gonna do? And we're like, we're gonna do this, and we're gonna do a museum, and we're gonna go to an amusement park, and we're gonna do shopping, like in-person shopping. And I love that we're just like, what are we gonna do? Because I was like, I want to go to the bookstore. I want to go to the bookstore. I want to go to the mall. I want to go thrifting. I want to go to the amusement park. And we don't do that. Like, we love staying at home. I think only a month or 2 ago actually started really getting to me. So, good news, it takes me about a year before actually really craving going places. Fun. And mainly it just like, more than actually wanting to go somewhere, it's like, I don't want to be here. But yeah, my dad, he lives in a different county, so he actually doesn't have an appointment yet, so don't get to see him. Yeah. Did I talk about watching Birds of Prey? Pretty much Birds of Prey by far is a better movie than Suicide Squad because it is coherent. Also good representation. They fix the mistakes of Suicide Squad for sure. I look like a little chipmunk. I don't know. Gopher? Gopher. Did I already said this? Head empty. I just want to play some video games and go to sleep. I'm just saying, that's what I want.